Good evening. It is I, Roncar. It is my pleasure to be with you in this evening. Today is a holiday for you. It is called Labor Day. It celebrates the work that people do. And it is worth taking a quick look at the work that you do, how satisfied you are, whether what you are doing pays you enough money, whether you are fully remunerated in every way. And so you can look at your position as a part of labor. He who works to bring about solutions in some cases, to bring about goods and services. This is what labor does. And you, each of you, have in your time contributed to the labor market. And so this is a day to celebrate the potential and the successes of labor, what they bring to the rest of the world. And just think about the things that other people's labors brought to you. It's the food in your supermarkets. It's the cans on the shelves full of food. It is the paper products that are manufactured and made and which you bring home to use in your home. It is so many things in the supermarket. There are hundreds of them for you to be thankful for and to be thankful for the labor that has brought them to you. It is important that you spend a little time in Thanksgiving, especially for those who have worked for you in this way. They are all anonymous, but they all do their part. And there is dignity in labor. That is to say, to work, to manufacture something, to grow something, to bring something into fruition. This is a wonderful, wonderful category or thing to think of, that you are doing this and you are serving others. While you work for your money, it is still an act of love if you choose to think of it that way. Those who are laboring, that the work that you are doing brings pleasure or food or necessities or anything to someone who wants it, who needs it, who desires it. And you are creating, you are bringing it in. And so there is great dignity in labor, great success, and great happiness if you look at yourself as contributing to the environment or the welfare of all the people on earth. And so you do your part, you collect your pay, and you also benefit from the labor of others. And so I just wanted to bring that up because it is good to be grateful for the work that other people do and the work that you yourself do and the things that you may be bringing into the world through your labors. So you are appreciated. We appreciate you. We appreciate ourselves for our contribution toward the goodness and welfare of all. And so it is that I give blessings to all those who labor, all those who create for the welfare of others and for their own good. And so we send love and healing and joy and happiness to all those people, to you and to others. Now, what questions do we have of me? There are only 3 of you here, so you will have to have the questions.
Okay, maybe I'll start off evening. That
Yes, thank you, Sohan.
I guess I have 2 topics in mind. One is maybe not so much of a question, but I just want to let you know an update. So I did meet with my contact in Carlsbad on Monday. I mentioned it to you, and he suggested we do an interview sometime in the next few weeks, and I suggested some dates. So I'll wait for his response, and I think this week I've been listening to several of the Abraham clips on YouTube, and they've actually been very calming and uplifting to me. And I look at my life, and I feel every time, you know, every time God has presented me with something, it has always come in the perfect timing, and I always know, you know, in hindsight, that it's perfect timing, and whatever has been given, you know, has been perfect for me. So I feel like the same attitude now is, you know, if God wants to bring this to me because it's the best thing for me, you know, it'll be obvious to me. And, you know, and if not, then the perfect thing will come in its own time. And I will just focus on what I want, per Abraham's guidance, and just manifest that. And so I feel much more relaxed this week. And so not so much of a question, but just want to let you know my state of mind. And your guidance was also very helpful in you know, helping me consider things. I guess the other thing is, there was one, I guess, so we had a little celebration today for Krishna, where it's she's 6 months old now today.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's her half birthday, and we introduced solid food to her, and we did like a traditional ritual, as you know, to kind of start off things on the right foot, so to speak. And so I guess that kind of got me thinking. You know, you mentioned a couple of weeks ago about Charming, that she wants to be a great, very great mother, and you know, I also, for my part, I also want to be a very great father. And you know, if you have any words to say on fatherhood, what it means to be a great father, I would love to hear that.
well, I can endeavor to give you some words. Being a great parent is somewhat easy at this time in your life, or at this time. There was a saying that people sometimes use, and when in an incarnation, little children, little problems, big children, big problems. And what's important is that you realize that problems are the way a child grows, and how you can help her to grow through her problems. If you always carry her, she will never learn to walk. So that is a problem for her. First, she has to learn to creep or crawl, and it will work. She will work it out as best she can. And you will help her stand on her feet and hold her hands and help her to walk, so that she can walk without falling. But then you must, of course, let her go and let her fall, so that she can learn to get up on her own 2 feet and keep walking. So it is to remember, as a father, it is guidance that is more important than telling her what to do. helping her to find the right things that she needs to do in order to bring about a good life for herself. Let her make her own decisions about things that are practical for her to make such decisions on, so that she can choose her own clothes. But to a certain extent, she needs help and guidance in the food that she eats as she grows. You want to keep her eating well. And I know that this is almost a mother's job, but it is the parent's job to set the example for the children. And I think if you look to your father, you will know the ways in which he was a very successful parent and the ways you might have liked him to improve. And you can make those as your goals. But patience, understanding, being consistent in what you expect of her, consistent in your guidance, consistent in your love. Consistency helps a child feel secure, and they know that you will always be there because you are always there, and you are always there in the same way. That is very important, so that she knows that she can depend on you for your help and your guidance. And of course, Sharmi will do the same. Except the mother is often more involved in the life, day-to-day life of her children, as opposed to the father, who is busy earning a living and
Yes.
doing what he must do
Right.
when he must be away.
Right.
So that is part of your job too,
Yeah.
is to earn the living for Sharmi and the money that is needed to house you, to clothe you, you being the whole family,
Yeah.
and to feed you and keep warmth there. You will work it out. And there's not too much guidance I have given here, but there were just a few pearls of wisdom.
Yeah.
The rest of it you will find, figure it out as the time comes.
Yeah.
Because you have your personality, you have your life. Sharmi has her own personality, which is yet to be discovered, although you may see parts of it already. And you will have to work with her in the ways that are best, that are most successful. And like you said, sometimes you have to wait for the right approach, the right time, in order to be the most help.
Yeah.
And so that is the best I can give you on this subject.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Anka. Yeah.
You're welcome. Consistency is very good in a child's life.
Yeah.
So you are allowed to get angry when she does something that is wrong, but you keep your temper in check. And you convey your anger in a proper way, meaning perhaps just words that are not belittling. You cannot do that to her, but help her to realize that what she has done was wrong, and you do not accept it or tolerate it. And that will be part of your consistency.
Right.
So are there other questions that are not quite such a wide thing? I see we have
Um,
not too much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. I didn't know whether I was unmuted. Okay, so people are asking me, well, what are you going to do next? And I'm really not sure. And I'm able to keep up with the house and whatever maintenance and stuff that's involved. It is, probably too large for me right now, but I really can't see an alternative at this point. Can you tell me what you think? I'm going to be 87 and I'm in good health. I can maneuver up and down stairs easily, and I'm pretty healthy, and I exercise, and I don't look or act my age. So I'm wondering, do you see me staying here for the next several years? I mean, I really can't see myself moving at this point, and I wouldn't know where.
It is too hard for you to consider moving because of all the things that have to be taken care of with the house.
That's true.
Needs to
Yes.
be done. So it is
Yes.
a bit overwhelming to consider moving. And your children seem not available to really help you.
No.
So therefore, it does make moving almost out of the question for you, since you cannot, you would have more problems trying to, as you have already expressed, going through all the paperwork and all the things that you have saved to eliminate and get rid of a great deal of them. And it will be much easier if you leave it for your children to do after you have transitioned.
Mhm.
So I don't see you making that decision unless you become ill. And then it will be something that your children will insist that you do, to move into something that is more easy for you to exist in, but they will then have to do the work, and they will be ready to do that for you. So do I see you moving? Not for a while. As you said, you are in good health and you can manage for now. Probably in 5 or 6 or maybe 7 years, we'll be able to, you will have to move. So it is up to you. You have to decide what you want. At this point in time, staying where you are seems the best of your options.
Yes, I needed some reassurance. So yeah, the fact is I can manage it, although I have to be more careful because I could see money going out faster than I expected in the last year or so. It just seems that I've been doling out a lot more money than I usually do, and I guess with all the investments and stuff haven't been doing well, so I haven't been.
Yes, you cannot make as many money gifts as you did.
Right.
So you must be careful with your money, and you must wait.
Okay.
But
Or be less, yeah, less extravagant. Okay.
well, I don't know that you have been that extravagant.
I have at times. I believe I thought that it was never ending, that, oh, well, it'll keep reproducing. And this
Yes.
last year has shown me that it's not so.
Yes, unfortunately, there is this time period, but it is going to change.
Oh,
So-
good. That's what I wanted to know. Do you see a good change in the future where
Well,
things
of
will,
course,
yeah,
the question is more when you say in the future, that is, of course, very indefinite, and I cannot give you a definite time, but the stock market will rise again. People will become more optimistic, but it is not likely to happen for at least another year.
mm,
And probably even longer than that, but it is, you just have to be careful with your money for the time being.
to tighten the reins. Yeah.
Yes, you can't give it away. You can use it to make the repairs to your house that you might need. Yes.
Mhm.
And repairs to your car if you need that, of course.
Right.
Those are necessities for you. So you will continue to do well for several more years.
Thank you.
And
That's
to
good to hear.
consider that, that means that you do need to have your funds available for several more years. So it
Right.
is to your benefit to structure your spending in such a way that it is practical and helpful, not just spending.
Right. Thank you. I
You're
needed
welcome.
that. Yeah, I needed.
You needed me to tell you what you already knew?
Yes, but I don't always follow directions. But
Do try to follow your directions.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions of anyone who is here? I hear no more questions.
Uh, well, I was going to say, can you tell about how well, like, children are going to be in the future? I'm concerned,
You are
And-
concerned for all your children?
Um, well, two in particular, the two older ones. Yeah, my daughter is going through stuff, and my son. Yeah.
Yes, well, you know, I understand your son has had many great problems.
Right.
And these are his problems. It is up to him to solve them. And while he may have a struggle with coming up with a practical solution, which is one that he likes, or the solutions all tend to be things that he doesn't like or doesn't want to do. It is similar to yourself.
Mm,
You may not be that interested in moving, but you would like to have all this stuff sorted out, organized, and it cannot happen without your doing work and making decisions, which are very difficult for you at this point in time in your life. It is not wrong for you not to want to throw things away. It is not wrong for you to want any of the things that you want. And but things sometimes cannot be done. And you have to acknowledge that and let go of any attachment you want it to be different. When it comes to your children, that is one of the things that you cannot be attached to how their life is going. They have, in some instances, they have created their own problems by their attitudes and the things that they want and the things that they have become attached to. And they want to maybe have changes, but they don't want to let go of certain things. They are having some difficulties in their life, and it is their own making. So this is the lessons that they have come to learn. And so you cannot be attached to having happy children all the time. It is something that is practical to understand that children sometimes make problems that upset you, but it is their problems. You cannot help them to solve them. You cannot give them more money. You cannot do many things. You must let them find their own way. And that is the way in which they will grow and learn many things. And you can just continue to send them love. Of course, you can give them a birthday present. Of course, you can give them a Christmas present. And it can be a generous present. But it cannot be expected to solve their problem. Do you understand?
Right, right.
So
That maybe these are lessons that have to be learned in this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And just as you had a lesson to be learned, how to get along on your own when your husband died,
Yeah.
that was your lesson, and you struggled with it. But you have come to a point where you have been at peace with it for a very long time now, and create your own life and do that. You have already taken responsibility for your life in every way, and so you manage it. And here you are at 87 with many more years to live.
Thank you. Yeah, I do feel that way. And I feel like I've got a lot to look forward to.
And you just have to let your children solve their problem, and they will.
Okay, that's assuring.
They will solve their problem. Whether you like their solution is another thing. But
this too shall pass. Yeah.
yes, they will find a satisfactory solution for themselves, whatever it happens to be.
Thank you. That does make me feel better. Thank you so much.
And you just have to know that all the time and allow them to do it on their own. Express your confidence in their ability to solve their problems.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry I kept myself in the dark.
Oh, it is all right.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel much better.
Oh, that is good.
You can see the mess around me, but I'm doing some straightening out every day.
That is important. And there is what often happens and must be acknowledged, that before you can get order, sometimes you need to create more chaos.
Out of chaos comes order.
Yes, absolutely. Because when you've taken it apart, then you can look at it and make changes.
You know, you're right. And I have uncovered a lot of good stuff, a lot of treasures in the midst of the things that have to be discarded. I have found some, yeah.
And you were happy to find things that you could discard, or were you not?
Yes, yes.
Because when you throw them away, you feel better.
It does feel better. It does. And I do. I always have a goal of filling up a trash bag at least once, you know, now it's once a week that I'm doing that.
That is good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are successful.
You have been an inspiration, and I wanted to share that.
Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. But I am glad that you are doing well.
Thank you.
So was there anything else?
Rankar, yes. Hi, this is Charmy here. Yes, yes.
Hello, Rankar.
Nice to see you, Charlie.
Nice to see you. Thank you very much for your guidance.
Always, I'm delighted to be of service.
Maybe sometime we'll see the baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
She's sleeping.
sleeping now.
Okay, but maybe.
Next time we'll try.
Next time,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes.
So I guess we had a question for Charmy's brother.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
his name is Jay, Jay.
Okay.
We wanted to ask. So he's started a new job and he's finishing up his PhD thesis writing,
He's in Finland.
and he's in Finland right now. And I guess he's also looking for a bride, similar to how I was looking a few years back. So if you could provide any words of guidance that we can pass on to him.
Well, you are an expert already. You found your bride.
Yes,
And,
very good one.
and she found the husband that she wanted. So it is the same. So there is not too much to say other than you have experienced it. You continue to look. And if you find someone that seems to be a possibility, then you start exploring it a little bit more. And not to be discouraged. You reached a point where you were almost discouraged and did not do much looking, but it was time to take a break. And
Yeah.
that is why you did not do so much looking. But then when you came back to it is when you found Shirley.
Yes.
And that is what he must do also. Just look. And if he gets tired of looking, take a break and don't look so much. And then look again. Because you can get tired of something. And when you think it is never going to work, then it is never going to work. You need to be optimistic and move forward. So, you can give him all the good advice, but not too much.
Yeah.
Because as with everyone, he must go his own way to find his bride where he finds her. And I know that he will find her. I'm already seeing that as we speak, that there is someone out there. I do not know how long it will take, but he will find something that is compatible when he is ready. At the moment, he is not quite ready because, as you said, he is still busy writing for his thesis, his PhD. And that must be his focus rather than the bride search. But as soon as that is put behind him, then he will be able to make more progress in his bride search. And you can let him know that. Not to be discouraged at this point, but to focus upon what he needs to do first so that he is free to then devote all the time that he will need. As you may remember, for you, you had to take a trip, I believe also to Finland, to meet Sharmi. And there was the change of how do you get to know one another and how do you get to know the parents and everything that is expected, and whether he will be acceptable, just as he's looking for an acceptable bride to himself. So that in itself is quite time consuming, and it is best that he finishes the writing before he gets too involved with finding a bride.
Right.
He can be looking over the market, so to speak, until the right time comes, and then he will find his bride, as always happens.
Okay.
You are most
Certainly.
welcome. So
Anything else?
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Rancor.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, I think there was nothing else.
Mhm.
So I will just give my blessings. I give you all my blessings. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Rancor. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back. Okay, is there anything else? No. I then remember, I love you all. Good night.
Good night.
Norma, I can.
Hi, Norma.
Hi. I wish I could see you a little better. Ah, there
Yes.
you are. How nice.
Yes. How are
Yes.
you?
I am very good, thank you. And my surgery, my eye surgery, I am much improved.
Oh,
Very
good.
good.
Very good.